Hello, I'm Rebecca, the Architect of Inspiration at TOM.
And I'm Michal, TOM's Creator of Global Opportunities.
Here we are about 2 months before the Makeathon, and you've opened up the Call for Challenge and Call for Talent. There are so many parts that go into planning a successful TOM, but great participants are your key to success. As great applications start pouring in, you're probably asking yourself, how will you choose the right participants and the right challenges for your Makeathon?
Just a quick reminder before we get too far into this video. A challenge is a problem shared by a need knower. The talent is the skills needed to develop a solution. A project is a solution in progress, and a product is the completed solution at the end of the Makeathon. For the screening process, you'll need to gather between 7 and 11 screeners to choose the challenges for the Makeathon, the right talent to tackle the challenges, and get that perfect balance of great people with lots of energy to keep the Makeathon fun.
When you recruit your dream team of screeners, look out for people you trust, some makers and some need knowers, with a healthy mix of expertise from the tech, medical, and disability sectors, with an understanding of product design, engineering, hardware design, software development, or have a personal or professional understanding of disabilities.
The screening process is pretty straightforward. It should take about a week and a half. Some of the work will be done at home, and some will be done together. Stage 1 is selection of the challenges, which you'll split into 2 separate parts: independent screening at home, or as we call it, homework, and a group meeting, or as we call it, the first big meeting. Stage 2 is the selection of the talent, which will also be split into the same 2 parts: homework and the second big meeting. Sound easy enough? Let's head into the nitty-gritty details of the selection process and answer the big question. How do you review and select challenges and talents?
Let's go back to stage 1, selection of the challenges. As we said before, the first part will be the homework. The day after closing the Makeathon application, you'll send the list of challenges to the screeners. Give them a few days at home to rate each challenge on a scale of 1 to 10 based on 6 criteria: need, inclusiveness, scalability, affordability, feasibility, and interest. Once they're done, they'll send you back their forms, and you'll average out the scores of each challenge. Schedule the first big meeting at the end of the week for the screeners to choose the final list of challenges for the Makeathon. If you have too many qualified challenges, there are a couple ways to narrow it down. First, check that each challenge has a need knower that can attend, because don't forget, nothing about us without us. Second, go over the list again and check which challenges best fit the 6 criteria, specifically answering challenges that do not have an off-the-shelf solution or where existing solutions just are too expensive. Third, compare which challenges have the highest average scores. Finally, it's always helpful to check if a sponsor would be more interested in supporting one challenge over another. This is really exciting. You have your list of challenges and you're halfway through the first big meeting. Congratulations.
Your screeners will use the remainder of time to decide what types of talent each challenge will need. This is where common sense and expertise is put to the test. Your team of screeners will review the list of challenges together and point out the skills and talents needed to develop potential solutions for each challenge. They will decide a ratio of makers, engineers, developers, designers, and any other talent they think will be needed at the Makeathon. This part is a bit tricky. Remember that we are rating challenges and not projects. So basically, we are not yet able to know which skills are required in each of the teams. This is not an exact science. You'll be doing some guesswork when choosing talent for the Makeathon.
We're now up to the homework assignment of stage 2. At the end of the meeting, you will split up and share the list of talent applicants for the screeners to review at home. Each applicant will only be reviewed by 2 screeners. Before they head off, it's important to tell your screeners that this isn't an exact science. Encourage them to use their best judgment to screen the applicants as best they can. We've collected the 7 Ds to help them review the applicants. 1, does their background and skills fit with the project? 2, do they have a special skill or expertise? 3, did a member of the TOM community refer them? 4, did they apply as part of a team? 5, do they have a special or personal connection to a need knower? 6, Do they work well as part of a team? And 7, do they have the X factor? What is the X factor? Some people are not specifically makers or need knowers, but we still feel they will contribute to a team's work. They may be a natural team player, process manager, generally fun person that will make the experience better for everyone.
Having the 7 Ds in mind, the screeners will start to rate each applicant based on a scale of 1 to 5, based on A, their professional background, and B, their personality. While running through each applicant, they're going to mark down the applicants that are definitely in or definitely out, and write down notes about why they rated each applicant the way they did. Once they are done, they'll send you back their list, and you'll average out the scores and review their notes. Now it's time to get all the screeners together for the second big meeting to finally decide who will be the talent at the Makeathon. As we said before, this is not an exact science. The screeners will need to work together to figure out which candidates to accept and which to reject. Unfortunately, you only have a certain number of spots you can fill.
Get ready, get set, go! Start off by announcing how many spots you have to fill. Review all the applicants that were rated definitely in. If there are too many talented candidates, as is often the case, cut the list by reviewing each candidate one by one. If there aren't enough talented candidates, review the maybes. Double check that you have a variety of talent and skills you may need for all the challenges. Say thank you and send the screeners home.
So now we have the talent. The next step is forming teams. Wait, you may have noticed that we haven't mentioned anything about forming teams. This is because after organizing Makeathons around the world, we've noticed that it works best if you send a list of challenges to the makers with their acceptance letters and have them choose their teams at the pre-tom.
After the meeting, send out acceptance letters to the applicants. An acceptance letter includes a link to the registration form where applicants confirm participation, add required information such as accommodation, accessibility, or dietary considerations, and pay any participation fee. An applicant completed their registration form becomes a participant. When you do let applicants know that they were not accepted, be positive. Make sure they understand that you are limited by resources. Invite them to join the developer groups and let them know about other ways to get involved in the TOM community.
Thank you so much for your time. Now it's time to go and get ready for pre-tom.